The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Hello and welcome to the Business Zone with Crystal, Gilbert, and
Dawn.
Hi, it is February 1st. It is the very first day of Black History Month.
It is.
We actually started early. I've been doing it for the last 2-3 weeks, I guess. Mm-hmm. But then I did a little research today to find out why it was in February.
Okay.
Of course, even though it's the shortest
Teach me
month.
something.
You want to know why, huh?
I know why. I just want to make sure you have your facts right.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll talk about that in a second. We're going to honor Black women in history and how powerful we are, how courageous we are.
Awesome.
How solid we are, the things that we do in our community. And then next week I'll do our men.
Okay.
And I'll flip-flop it. And then I'm going to do our children.
Okay.
There's some kids out there doing some bang-up things. But it's interesting. Have you noticed, and I know you're more on Instagram than you're on Facebook.
I'm on both of them. Yes, I am.
But how much information is on, I know how much information and what the Black Facts that's on Facebook lately. I mean, there's some folks out there doing some major research to make sure that our stories are told and that we're aware. And so that's really pretty cool. I also saw there was and I'll have to send it over to you. I saw it before I came to the show. Hey, Michael. That Roland Martin was on, and he was saying there are 8, I guess, Black networks or Black networks that show Black shows and so forth. But some of the issues it's no news.
Right.
There are no news shows.
No
Black news shows or Black political shows or anything to give us real information and real news on a regular network type.
Right.
Because there's podcasts that do that. And he was saying that we're doing a disservice to our children because we just keep them in a comedic role and not understanding
that's
true. That's not, there's more to it than life in that, and you have to have those news shows to bring you that information. And then give you, the incentive to go research for it. So he was encouraging shows like what we have here and what's
like
here.
The show here.
Like the show here, like the Business Zone, where we're giving you real information and about, a range of topics, mostly business, but we do interject with politics and cultural things that's going on in our community. And we laugh and fun and have good times, but we're also informing health information, wellness information, financial information. Yes. And those are things that are very, very, very important for our people to know, because we're always so behind in finding out information. Usually something will come up and when we hear about it, it's already on its way out.
Right.
and if there was any money to be made, the bulk of the money has already been made, and we get the scrapes of it. So he was saying it's very important, and one of the things that we need to really look at doing is creating more shows to the caliber that we have. Right. And then we need to get it on a network.
Yes.
So it can reach more people.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
You agree? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and that's important.
More people need to see us because we're cute.
Yes. And we're informative.
And we need husbands.
And we're very informative.
Absolutely.
I mean, was it last week? Girl, you just showed out when you did your event last Saturday with the health insurance, the health information.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm not all laughs. I'm actually really smart.
I mean, you had us. You informed us on how we're supposed to take care of our bodies, our temples.
Yes.
And what we want to. Can you want to give them a couple of highlights of some of the stuff you shared, just off the cuff? You know, that's the regular stuff that you fuss at me every morning. Like this morning,
You're doing a phenomenal job.
Dawn I had a coconut milk vanilla latte, and she's like, "Let me taste that."
I was so through with her after such a great workout she had. Now, if you're gonna have coffee, coffee is a fat burner. Caffeine is found in green tea. However, we abuse it when we have coffee and shots and all those things. It's a little too much sometimes. I agree. Every now and then you may need a little bit of get up and go, but sometimes Crystal just wants a drink of, you know, what, you don't even have coffee. What do you have? She just has junk. No, but just coffee, and put in your coffee almond milk, unsweetened almond milk, zero sugar, zero carbs, zero, and that is actually great. It'll give you everything you need without the added sugar. We mess up when we have all the flavored stuff, the vanilla and all that, the mocha, the caramel, all that good stuff. I have to stay away from it.
But how many burpees did I have to do this morning?
My God! So she felt rewarded.
I felt rewarded. It was rough today.
We had a short but sweet workout this morning, and I love her. I absolutely love Crystal. To watch her go from I don't run to running like 10 minutes, 15 minutes straight to, oh no, I don't do that, to doing what is called a low impact burpee, which is pretty much nothing, just sticking your leg, stepping out to a plank and coming back to a squat, to doing half burpees, which takes a whole lot more energy, and barely getting up, to doing a full burpee and getting up with some power. I'm just, my friend, I just love her. And I'll tell you, it's not so much about, she's experiencing weight loss. You see her taking a picture. She can't stay out of the mirror. She's always in the bathroom in the mirror with the camera.
That's what happens when you lose weight.
I'm about to show her a photo shoot. But for the purposes of creating a healthy body, a healthy, strong heart, burpees are good. Full body workout. It's amazing, the benefits. One of my favorite exercises, and Krista does it very well. But to just give you some insight going into this new year, taking it by storm. It is the end of January where most people give up. We start off strong, right? By the end of January, all those New Year's resolutions and things are out of the window.
Yeah.
So I want to encourage you to stay strong. And just a couple of tips that you can do. The rest you have to buy from me. This is a business. Okay. A couple of ideas for you. One of the questions I get all the time is, when's the best time to exercise? Whenever it actually fits into your schedule. Whenever it fits into your schedule. But before you exercise, do not eat. Make sure your food is digested about 90 minutes prior to exercising, as well as your carbohydrates. Try to have the carbohydrates a few. I would say if you're exercising in the evening, try to make your last carb meal around 3 to give your body an opportunity to kind of burn it off, because you don't want to spend your time at the gym working off all of what you ate and you don't have the time to get to your stored fat. So watch that carb intake. It'll help you make get extraordinary results when you do your cardiovascular exercise. And cardiovascular is king. You build the muscle to keep the weight off. You get the weight off by doing cardio.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yep, that was great. And
everything else you can call me, DM me.
That was just a few little tidbits. So now you need to call her to get, and she's an awesome, awesome trainer.
Thank you.
I would not be truly doing burpees if it wasn't for Dawn over here, because I would go. It went nowhere on the calendar.
Yeah, and I just knew she could do it. It's not that you have to do burpees. If I believe that you have it in you, you're going to do them. I knew Crystal can do it. She could do it. I knew that. And she's doing it very well. And she's running. So excited about my friend. Yeah. Just wait till you see us at the end of the year. We're going to be married.
Or at least skinny. Skinny.
Okay, maybe skinny. Maybe not married. We don't really want husbands. We love the single life.
Yeah, right.
Liar.
Well, you Boo. But she's a phenomenal trainer. And so if you're looking for a trainer, and sometimes you need that little extra boost for someone to help encourage you and keep you on track.
You want to hear something funny? So I have a client. All of my clients, my personal training clients, are hilarious. One of my clients that I love dearly, after every exercise, he has to sit down. And it just bothers me to no end. He has to go have a rest. After everything, hold on a second. And it's okay, because that's interval training. You make your heart work. You actually work hard, and when you have to restart yourself. But anyway, so I have a trainer. Okay. And my trainer was kicking my butt yesterday. Yes, I have a trainer. I do.
Yeah, the trainer needs training.
Yes, we need training. I can't see my back. This for the purposes of being held accountable and pushing me toward my greatness as well. But yesterday, when we were training, I had to sit down after every exercise. I was like, hey, and I have a client to where I tell him, I take bribes. Okay. If you bribe me, I take bribes, right?
Yeah, she takes coffee bribes.
I'm the only client, but I don't drink coffee. I'm the only client that takes bribes, trainer that takes bribes, which means you give me a good bribe, we'll cut your training short. It's cool. So I was trying to bribe him. I was like, hey, don't you want to talk for a few minutes? Or, how about those Rams?
He wasn't buying it, was he?
I'll pay you extra. I'll pay you extra if we, end it right now. We don't have to do the whole, you already got your money. We ain't got to do the whole hour. It was hilarious. What'd he say?
Well, yeah, he was like, no bribing.
What'd he say?
What'd you say, LaRon?
Oh, too funny.
Yeah, no, you have to. Yeah, I tell you, that's what we be bribing this morning. All three of us, whatever.
They were bribing me not to bribe.
Whatever you need, we just need.
But that was before I saw the bill I need paid. So Monday I got, I'm getting something out of this. Some real stuff.
Some money. You take the bribes.
Give me some money.
Yeah, sometimes. And I don't know, this morning was just a really, really tiring day. I guess because all week long I've been just really hitting it hard. Had a successful class. I started my basic accounting for small business owners on Monday.
Yes.
So I taught that. And that was really, more people showed up than I thought. I thought, okay, I'm going to do a whole class with 2 people. But that's okay. I'll do this whole series.
The class starts at what time?
It starts at 5:30.
Dang. You have such great classes. I need to be in all of them. I'm going to have to do one-on-one sessions with you. Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, because people weren't registering or doing anything. I said, okay, I probably will have maybe 2 people because I knew they had already paid. But then it turned out I had like 6 or 7 people. So
awesome.
It's like, okay, wow, cool. Hey, Everett, how are you? And then on Wednesday, we did something a little bit different with our digital marketing class. We're up to 7. We've created a movement. So we are up to 73 people that are coming, in and out, but pretty much 73 people that are part of the new movement. And we have 17 people that have actually launched their blogs or published their blogs, and they're posting. They got 2 or 3 of them in the till. And we had standing room only on Wednesday night.
Really?
And I taught one of the classes, and then Armin, who is Armin Santos, he was here at the show. He did the intro, so I taught it on.
What exactly did you teach?
I taught on. So with WordPress, they've actually changed the editor that has been there for years.
Yes.
And so now it's called Gutenberg. And so it's created, it's blocks. So you're putting your data in blocks and which gives you really much. Yeah, and it gives you really more flexibility and it really makes your blog look cleaner and crisper when it's published.
Right.
And so, but if you've been using the old one, then you got to get familiar with the new one. And you know how people don't adapt to change.
So you were teaching the new one?
So I taught the new one, and then I gave them some insight on using Canva and one of the social media tools that's really effective for blogging is Pinterest. So we talked about a business Pinterest account, not a personal account. And what else did I tell them about? And I use Grammarly when I write. which is a...
Yes.
You use Grammarly?
No, I heard of it.
Grammarly is awesome. So those are my favorite right now. Those are my top favorite software apps that I use. So that's Canva, and you use Canva.
Oh, I do use Grammarly. Yes, I do. I have it on my phone. Yes, I do.
Grammarly it does such an amazing job of editing that wish I had that in school. And I tell you, if you writing anything, even my emails are better now because Grammarly works on everything. So that's what I taught. So I was a little tired. Sometimes, I don't know, do you get to, sometimes if I teach and if I do 2 or 3 days, so next month is going to be, this month is intense because my bookkeeping cohort starts back up. But if sometimes I'm really drained after I've spoken for 2 to 3 hours.
Of course.
And then afterwards,
anyone.
Yeah, and then, you're the people. So we couldn't even get them out of there Wednesday
After
night.
a long day.
After a long day. Yeah, and Wednesday.
On a Wednesday after a workout, and then the rest of your day, and then you absolutely.
Yeah, my brain was gone by the time, and they didn't even want to leave. Hi, Maxine. They didn't even want to leave the class.
Really?
They were just hanging around, talking and asking questions, and so I was a little bit drained.
Of course.
But it was great. It's amazing.
I'm
Everybody's
sure.
excited.
I see the pictures of. I'm
picture?
jealous that I'm not in the class, but I'm going to definitely get the information because it's going to be available, right?
Yes, it's going to be available, and then you got me.
Yes, but I can't seem to narrow you down. You're busy.
I know, but we were going to do it Wednesday, but we got to go celebrate. We got to go support Rashonda and her new incubator on Saturday.
Yes.
So.
Oh, but you know what? I don't have the parade. The parade was canceled. Because the rain.
Yeah, because
so. But pouring. I was gonna melt on that float anyway. I don't know how they was gonna pull that off. Sugar melts.
Sugar melts.
Well, I'm like unsweetened sugar. So the parade is they're not having the parade in Anaheim. So the blend will not be at the parade tomorrow. So I'm available during the day.
Oh, okay. Well, we maybe we can do something. In fact, the thing I was going to do in the morning, but I do have to go do a presentation for the Biz Camp. But it's at right over here in Crenshaw.
What time is that? Maybe I can go with you.
I'm going to do that at 11. Yeah, pop on by with me. It's right there
at
there's some kids. We're going to be it's the top ladies of distinction. They're having a program and talking about financial literacy with the kids, and so I'm going to do the presentation for the Biz Camp. That's coming up in June.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's what I'm a part of.
Yes. So we got some good things coming up with that, and then we're going to do some other things. So before we go to break, I am going to get us started with our little known Black history facts.
Okay, let's do it.
So the first one I'm going to speak on. So today, like I said, we're honoring women right now because we're
strong
Black women. That's us. And Gilbert loves us talking about strong Black women. So when he come in, he'll just follow suit. Viola Neely Anderson. She achieved a number of notable firsts for both African American and women in the legal world. Chief among her achievements, she became the first Black American woman to practice law before the U.S. Supreme Court on January 29th, 1926.
Wow.
She was born, Anderson was born Violet Neely in July 16th, 1882 in London, England, to a German mother and a West Indies father. As a small child, her and her family relocated to Chicago, where she attended high school and began furthering her education at the Chicago Athenaeum. She then attended Chicago's Seminar of Sciences before working as a court reporter in 1905 to 1920. Isn't that some amazing stuff? This job inspired her to complete her law degree at Chicago Law School, now known as the University of Chicago Law. In 1922, she was named assistant prosecutor in Chicago, the first woman and first African American to do so. In 1936, she helped lobby on behalf of the Bankhead-Jones Act, which gave poor farmers a pathway and financial assistance to become eventually farm owners. Anderson was also the 8th president of Zeta Phi Beta sorority and was also a member of the Federation of Colored Women's Club and the Chicago Council of Social agencies. She passed away in 1937.
Wow. So in 1926, she was the first woman to practice law?
Yep.
Wow. The Supreme Court level?
Awesome. Supreme Court level. And just to going to school in 1905 to be an attorney, wow. That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a long time ago, too. Wow.
And so then the next lady, her name is Dr. Dorothy Height. She was born in 1912, and she died in 2010. And Dr. Height was regarded by President Barack Obama as the godmother of the civil rights movement. She served as the president of the National Council of Negro Women for over 2 decades and was instrumental in the integration of all YWCA centers in 1946.
Awesome.
And see, you ain't never heard none of this, right?
No,
not in any of the schools we went to anyway. And the other one is Fannie Lou Hamer. Now, I have heard of Fannie Lou Hamer. My uncle talks about her all the time. She was born in 1917, and she died in 1977. That was 2 years after I got out of high school. Hamer was a civil rights activist and organizer of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, Fannie Lou Hamer. She helped blacks register to vote and co-founded the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party. And then our next one is Patricia Bass, Dr. Patricia Bass. She is the first black female doctor to receive a medical patent and the first African-American woman to compete a residency in ophthalmology in the NYU. In 1986, she created the Laparoscope probe, a tool used to treat patients with cataracts with more precision and less pain. Bath was able to help restore the sight of people who had lost their eyesight for more than 30 years.
I remember her.
My mom talked about her because she was a surgical nurse, and they actually started using it at the hospital. So those are the first black women. So that's what I'm kind of doing for Black History Month is the first.
I'll give you mine so you can write me down.
Okay, you want to? Because when we had the family, the Nicholas brothers, they broke some color lines and barriers, and they were the first to ever do that. So
I'm excited to see what you do with them through your counseling. What are you doing with them? You're consulting them, right?
I'm consulting with them to, so for those of you
build their brand
that hadn't tuned in, hey, nephew, hey, Mr. Prince, how are you? And Donna, so they, their studio is just starting. Their daughter, the granddaughter of Dr. Nicholas, she started her dance studio, which was her project when she participated in the Biz Camp. And, she's the first student that actually completed or at least launched the business that she was working on within Biz Camp 1 month after camp.
So she was working on this and she launched the studio 1 month after the camp?
She was in Biz Camp. This was the idea.
The studio wasn't around?
It did not exist.
How long has the studio been here? Like a year now?
No. They started in September.
Awesome.
So now, but her mom, Kathy was she worked with Debbie Allen. So she was her right-hand choreographer and everything. So mom actually was inspired by daughter, and daughter wanted to start a studio. And so daughter said, okay. And so mom said, well, we're going to make this happen. And grandma said, yes, let's make this happen. So what we're going to do is one of the things they weren't using was using the legacy of the Nicholas brothers in order to really elevate their studio to the level that it should be. And because the Nicholas brothers, they're just world-class tap dancers, so that they won't be competing with Lula Washington or Debbie Allen because they have a legacy.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to work on.
Won't be any competition.
It won't be, exactly.
So this national tap dancing competition that they're going to be putting on?
Yes.
Just want you to know I'm going to win that.
You are?
You know I've been practicing.
You've been practicing?
You've seen me practice every opportunity I get.
Yeah. And so there you go. Actually, I was thinking
I don't even think they need to put it on, actually.
Yeah. But I was thinking you might want to help us make it happen.
So that I won't be able to compete?
Well, yeah, maybe you can still compete.
Maybe. I'll pray on it.
Pray on it. Because they got to interview. We got to interview all over the world. This is going to be international because they're known. In fact, the Nicholas brothers actually had more recognition, even though they were definitely recognized here in the United States. but their biggest recognition came from Europe.
Yes.
Because, that's the time Josephine Baker and everyone was going to Europe, and blacks were much more embraced at entertainers there than they were here. But they said that the tap genre is huge internationally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So since you're talking about travel, that means we get to be international, man. I may just help you do this.
So I was thinking that this might be something that you might want to.
Yes. I'll help. I travel.
So they've been asked, and somebody in Australia, this lady that's a dance, I guess, a philanthropist, I guess. They've been wanting to do it, but they can't because they're still living witnesses. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. So and when we talked about that, it's like, wow, what an incredible tool to really elevate their studio if they were actually having competitions.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. So
have you ever participated in
what? In a competition? Girl, I'm always competing. I stop because it's unfair.
It's unfair.
I'm always winning. Give somebody else a chance to, do their thing. So,
okay.
The Lord told me I can't be selfish.
You can't be selfish, so you're sharing. So, but how long have you been dancing?
Since I was 4.
Okay. And you competed in tournaments and dance competitions? Of course. Okay.
Why do you always get me to lie? My mother's watching. No,
but you're an excellent dancer, so you have competed.
As a gymnast, I competed.
Okay, cool. That's cool. That's why you got all that ever-ready bunny energy.
Yeah, I guess so.
That the rest of us don't have, and why you embrace all aspects of the physical world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's fun. It keeps you young.
Yeah, it does.
It keeps you young. But this is the great stuff that we're doing here on the Business Zone and BizCamp. We are launching businesses and helping people go national. I'm so excited about it.
I know.
We do some phenomenal things here.
I know. I like it. I love it. There's so many great people out there that are doing, and right now that's what we need. People that are creating with all the helter-skelter stuff that's going on, around the circumference of what we're doing. That long as we're staying focused to make sure that we're helping others to reach their greatness and which will just take us to our greatness.
Absolutely.
Because that's what happens when you teach.
That's what happens.
So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to bring up our guests, and Mr. Buchanan should be rolling in here shortly. But we'll take a quick break right now. And you are tuned in to the Business Zone with Crystal, Gilbert, and
Dawn.
All right. We'll be back.
Hello. Meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186. Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186. Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as
Okay, we are back. You are back at the Business Zone with Crystal, Gilbert, and
Don.
Hey, so we are here. This is Black History Month. We're celebrating, although our guest is not a female, but we're celebrating women today. And the first of the first. Everything that I do this month will be the first Black folks that did whatever I'm going to be talking about. Okay, just know that, guys. And just amazing stuff that we've been doing. Our history did not exist when we got here from the plantation. Our history existed way before that time. So that's what I'm talking about. It's the first. But today we have the honor of having a wonderful gentleman. And actually, before I introduce him, can you play that video for him? And then I will introduce him.
It's your birthday, happy birthday, celebrate and have a good time. It's your birthday, happy birthday, another year's gone by. It's your birthday, happy birthday, celebrate.
So happy birthday, TJ.
Thank you.
And besides being a first in your industry, and as I tell everyone about that, you're also the very first guest on the Business Zone that is on the show on their birthday.
Yeah.
That we got was the very first time
I
I've ever been able to create a video.
That's right. Thank
with
you.
somebody. So happy birthday!
Y'all trying to make me cry.
Aww. So this is my buddy TJ Lofton. I don't know how we met, somewhere a couple years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, in our space, and we are both business coaches. So in the space, I met him. But this guy is pretty revolutionary. He's done some stuff that no one else I know, and he's the first person. So he's a trailblazer. He's a global business leader. He's a celebrity car builder. He's a published author and a speaker. Thomas T.J. Lofton revolutionized the low-riding and auto industry with nearly 3 decades of business intervention. Mr. Lofton formerly founded 3 successful global businesses: Express Gold Plating, Compton Wire Wheels, and Molded Suspensions. Mr. Lofton manufactures auto parts. He also played a pivotal role in creating the multi-billion-dollar low-riding industry. His classic cars led him into the film industry, as his cars were featured in music videos, movies, commercials, and television shows. He was also invited to be on the set of NWA reunion movie Straight Outta Compton and Driving While Black. Mr. Lofton is featured in countless magazines highlighting his industry genius. He recently, he recently has been featured in the Washington Informer newspaper in Washington, D.C., and in the Liberated Minds Business Homeschool and Education Institute magazine. Mr. Lofton also has a production company called Lofton Productions. Through his production company, he travels the country giving keynote speeches, panel discussions, workshops, and business training. He travels the company with his tour called The Auto Industry and Monetizing Gentrification, of which he just released his first book, Monetizing Gentrification. Wow, I didn't know you were a published author.
Thank you.
You didn't tell me about that. I don't even think I saw that on social media.
I was saving it for the show. I wanted to see that smile on
wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
As an expert in gentrification, real estate, and business investment, he trains investors to create wealth, coach people on how to monetize gentrification, and create legacies. Mr. Lofton develops educational programs through his online course, TJ Wealth Academy. By planting the seeds of entrepreneurship, he is dedicated to educating the masses by creating entrepreneurs and not employees. So welcome, TJ.
Thank you.
You
Thank
have
you
done a
for
lot
having me.
since the last, you came on the very first year that the Business Zone was launched.
And I'm just excited as it was then.
I know, but now you got a book,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you were doing a little bit of traveling. Now you've gone all the time,
Right.
and you are just like a celebrity out there in this space, huh?
A little bit.
A little bit.
I think I became a celebrity when I got a happy birthday from Ghana and another one from the UK this morning. I was like,
wow.
Oh, wow, really?
Awesome.
How
Congratulations.
impressive is
a little
that?
popular, yeah.
So, how did you get started in this industry?
Well, the cars are...
The cars.
It was a culture, you know. Everybody wanted a lowrider back in those days. You know, we didn't have Toyotas and Nissans back then. We all had Chevy Impalas.
Okay.
So, you know, that was a car to have. People had auto mechanic classes in school and auto body classes. So
Yeah.
we didn't have nothing to do but go home and work in the backyards and fix cars. So we were flipping cars back then.
Okay.
And my buddy said, hey, if you stick with this, you will always have money. So I stuck with it. So when my mom thought that I was such a waste, I'm wasting my life away in the backyard, you know, messing with those gangbanger cars. And,
Right. 'Cause that's all they could see at the moment.
well, I think I'm averaging, $5 or $6 grand a month. Maybe I can use that to get my own house, and she wants to put me out.
Right,
I
yeah.
won't go to college or the military. So I just steadfast and keep going with it. And the next thing you know, guess what? We turned out and had some rappers that grew up in our area in Compton, you know.
Right.
So we were doing rap videos for free back then.
Oh, okay.
You know, now they're like, wait a minute, we got to get paid for this. You know, y'all making money off of us.
Right.
So we started following the rappers, and when they started going global, they took our name with it. It was like, well, TJ can build you one, Mr. Japanese guy, and Mr. Guy from Norway, Mr. Guy from Sweden.
Oh, okay.
All around the world. So I'm shipping cars, and then they call and asking about, well, where do you get the Compton hats from? You know, I'm like, oh,
Wow.
you know, I'm like, can you send me a container? I'm like, a container?
That wasn't a container.
I'll figure it out, but yeah, I'll get you some of those, you know. So I'm like, we're doing clothes, we're doing cars, we're doing parts, and it was like, still dressed normal, regular people. Nobody could tell. They still like, oh, such a waste. They're wasting away back
So
there.
your mom didn't see it.
Had no
she
idea.
didn't see it that it had major value and that it was a whole industry.
No, they didn't. And it's like and then those rapper guys are gangbanger rappers. And, you know,
okay.
It's like, well, these guys grew up to be successful. You know, all of us.
Wow. So did she? Well, I guess that was brand new, huh? What did she want you to do?
Go to college.
And do what? And be what?
Get a degree and be something that has a degree.
And you did not go to college.
No, I'm such a disappointment.
That's okay.
Wow.
But when your mom started to see the transitioning happen, when she started to see the money coming and stuff, at what point did she start to say, oh my gosh?
But even then, it was still, he doesn't have a degree to protect all of this stuff. He's got the big house. He owns apartment buildings, but he's not smart enough to protect all of this stuff. Oh my God, I just hope he don't lose it. That's that. He didn't go to college to protect it. Learn
Because our
dream,
parents
just
were
mentality.
taught that education was important
And
to
it
make
is.
sure that you did, but not understanding, I guess, in our era, or our parents and our grandparents' era was it had to be a degree from a college.
Right.
That validated because that education was so important.
Because that's all they knew. For one, that's all they knew.
Right. Not understanding that education can be required, can be acquired.
Right.
And you just may not have a degree at it, but you may be smarter than the person with the degree.
Absolutely. And I remember when I finally said, okay, she realized, okay, well, he has a big brand new home. This is his third. He owns property and he's married now. He's taking care of his daughter. Well, you still don't have insurance.
Wow.
You know, and I'm like, okay, I'll find something to work it out. You know, if something happens, I'll just have to pay for it. You know? And that was it back then. You don't have insurance, so that's why I still don't approve.
My mom was like that too. My mom was like, "You have to go back."
Of course.
When I came out, when I made my conscious decision, and mine was a plan, and my mother said the same thing. No, you need to work for somebody. So.
Right.
And she kept pushing, so I did go back, but I went back for my reason, but she thought it was for her reason, but I went back because I wanted to get, to become a certified ADP payroll specialist. And so I went to a company so that they would pay for that training. Right. And then after that, it's like, okay, I'm out. And she's like, no. It's like, Mom, I can buy my own insurance. That's what I'm doing here. So I don't need them to give me insurance. I can go buy my own. So at that point, she realized that she just needs to let me do what I was going to do.
And, you know, I was so fortunate because I grew up around the people who were doing the right things at a very young age. So some of my buddies, they came together because of all the gang violence. And they said, there's too many people getting shot trying to go to the store in the wrong neighborhood to get their mama some swabs, you know? So they was like, let's buy some vacant lots in our neighborhood and let's build some strip malls and put some businesses in there. That way our guys won't be having to leave out of the area. Right. So I got to watch this at 9 and up all the way. How do we get this 1 hour photo? Oh, well, they have a patent on that. So we have to either buy into this thing called a patent or we can create our own. It's like, okay.
Now, how old were you watching this?
I'm from 9 to 12. I'm watching this whole shopping center go from what's the blueprint? What's land? Yeah. What do you mean by positioning the building? You know, what is this
education.
We got to hire an employees.
Yeah.
What's an employee? We got to hire some of those or we're going to hire the people in the neighborhood. Oh, okay, cool. You know, okay, well, we can't buy into the burger stand. We'll have to start our own. Right. We'll start our own franchise. Oh, what's a franchise? So I was so fortunate that they took the time out to explain to this little 9-year-old, this 10-year-old, what was this? What did all this mean? Yeah. You know, and what was so cool is my buddy told the architect to explain to me, which he didn't want to. He was like, just give me my money so I can go.
Right.
And I'm looking at the blueprints with a million questions, and finally he gave me a copy. And then the next day when he came back to show them what he just done, I said, well, people are going to get carjacked in this drive-through because people will be jacking people, right? And then the guy started laughing like, man, okay, that's enough. You can leave now. My buddy said, wait a minute. No. He said, we got to redo that. He's right.
Yeah.
You have people boxed in.
Yeah.
So that did a lot for me at like 10 years old.
Right.
And I'm like, ooh.
They paid
Oh,
He took
Right.
my side.
Right.
I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So then I
Right.
started reading Architectural Digest magazines and looking at houses and what's a Sub-Zero refrigerator, what's a Viking, what's a Wolf, and what does $1 million house really look like?
Right.
What's a heated floor? So I'm growing up at a young age seeing all of this. Those guys had nice homes, so I knew what this looked like. So now all of a sudden when I get older, mom's like, okay, it's time for you to get a job. I'm like, how much does that pay?
Yeah, how much does that pay?
Yeah, okay, well, y'all only making $3,500, $3,000. That don't sound right. 'Cause
Yeah.
I saw him make $5,000 from one guy, and he told me that was profit. After
Yeah.
doing this welding in the trunk. So I grew up around people who were doing amazing things,
Yes.
and to this day, you very rarely see people who are saying, "Oh, let's build a building, let's start a business."
Yeah.
That's not common.
No, get a job, or
Yeah.
I have to look for a job. You were very blessed that you were there and you were inquisitive.
Yes,
Right, and
yes.
even though anybody in your family entrepreneurial?
Yes, on the East Coast.
Oh, okay, but not
Yes.
Not
here.
even-
We
Everybody
have
had to go
we have
to-
some famous people in my family on the
Okay.
East Coast. Yes.
Really?
Okay.
Yes, the Watkins. Yes.
Oh, okay, that's
So-
cool. Did you there's a new show that just came. It's on Netflix. It's called it's Killer Mike is doing it.
Oh, with Sharif,
and it's called
with White Black or something.
No. It's something triggering the warning, but you have to watch the first 2 episodes. The first episode is he's talking. He goes into a school, elementary school, and he's asking the kids what they want to be, and he's funny, and so they're saying, well, I want to be the president. He goes, no, dude, that's too lofty. We
Right.
need to build some cabinets. So we need to, we have some
Let's start
lofty
here
dreams.
first.
Right.
Let's build some things with our hands.
the stuff that's in that book.
In this
Right.
book, right? So I
Right.
thought of you when I saw it. And then the second episode that I saw is definitely you, because he was thinking, okay, well, we got gangbangers out there and they're not being productive, but they're bright, they're smart, they're
Right.
doing things
Right.
that really could be part of a company or business
Right.
if they were refocused, right?
Right.
So he went to the Crips, because he's in Atlanta. So he went to them and said, what if he says, let's go online and let's research the Hells Angels. And when he researched the he said, look, they're selling product. They actually make money online
Yep.
selling all of the Harley Davidson, the Hells Angel,
Yep.
the
Yeah.
logos, all that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
He says, so why can't you guys do that? So let's create a product.
Right.
And so he came up with Crip Soda or Crip Pop. And then, no, Crip Soda, what is it? It's Crip Soda and Blood Pop. That's what it is. And then they created logos. He took them through everything that's probably in your book. And then they had to go out and they had to do a focus group. And they had to do, and then in a Killer Mike kind of personality.
Right.
And then they had hats. Then they went to a fair and they were selling, because they couldn't get their sodas distributed into it. So, because the Crips and the Bloods.
Right.
So they had
Right.
to change the branding motif. And then they actually talked to some branding experts and some marketing experts. It's an excellent.
Like
And,
what I be doing, right?
and it was you. It
Right.
was you. So you really
Right.
got to check it out. You
So it's
really
called
gotta-
what? Killer? What is it
It's
called?
called triggering the warning, and it's Killer Mike, who is a rapper, and then he started it. So what got me, what got me was he decided that for 3 days he was going to just buy black,
Right.
but it was not as easy because he took it to a deeper dive. So he couldn't eat, because if the food wasn't being manufactured at a black farm, and he couldn't drive his car because it was manufactured by white people, and then he had to get a bicycle, which was actually made by a black fan, and he was going on tour, so he was in Atlanta. It wasn't too much of a problem because you do a lot of stuff in Atlanta, right?
He do it too much. He got black cars. He could have ordered one from Africa. Ghana got cars over there.
But he only had this was a short period of time.
Okay.
And then he was going to Athens, Georgia, which has far less black people and far less work. Atlanta's different. Because 95% of Atlanta are self-employed and black business owners.
Absolutely. I was thumbs up to Atlanta. They really doing it.
Yeah, they
Everywhere
really.
I go, I see black businesses, tire shops, and I'm like, why does it seem like I'm the only one talking about entrepreneurship, but y'all out here living it?
Yeah.
Oh, that, yeah.
Like we don't hear about Atlanta. We hear that, it's the black Mecca, but okay, well, how?
Yeah, it was.
They don't talk about that.
That was actually a strategic plan in 1985, and it was right. And I think 85 was when we had that SNL recession. Yeah. Remember when all the SNLs crashed?
Right.
A lot of the Atlanta, because they all went to school, they all had degrees, what your mother wanted you to have, right? But they were working for county, federal agencies, and they got hit hard. And so after that, their actual NAACP and business associations like, no, we got to rethink this, and we got to get our people into owning their own businesses. So in 1985, they made a massive move in order to encourage everyone that had lost jobs to start businesses. And then they found funding and everything for them. And so that's why.
We need to do that out here.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm in Atlanta once a month for like the last 12 months.
Right.
I've been out there.
You've been out there?
They were like, oh, we need you. Come back. I'm like, I'm trying to do like 30 states, on my tour. But every month they're like, we need you back here for 2 weeks. We need you back here for 3 weeks because we're doing this. And I'm like, ooh.
So are you duplicating yourself?
I'm trying, yes. I'm training a lot of young people. I'm coaching people all over the place. But I'm just trying to get people to realize success does not education does not guarantee
success.
No, it doesn't. That's an excellent book. No, it doesn't. You have to.
Right, so,
there's a lot of all of us here are entrepreneurs, and we're going to take a break in a few minutes and bring up our other partner over there because he just rolled on up in here. And but all of us. I know my business has had ups and downs. Someone put on Facebook the other day that, why is it that in corporations, the culture to make change is so slow and most people don't embrace it. And I said, but as an entrepreneur, you have no choice but to embrace change.
Absolutely.
Because things outside of your control will change your business overnight.
Yes.
And so, so you learn to pivot very early on.
So absolutely, and that's why I had to come out of the car industry and the construction industry to represent those guys because you don't meet people like me every day. No. So I had to come in and talk about the videos, the TV shows, the manufacturing, the international shipping, the products, and they're looking at me like he is a little smart.
Wow. Well, you lived it. You actually did it. Yeah. So how old were you when you actually launched when you did the low riding? Were you in
probably like 22, 23.
Wow.
When I really became worldwide known. Started shipping cars to Japan and creating relationships in Germany. And
so you were doing it way before then. You became worldwide known at 23,
yes.
22 and 23?
Yes.
So
like
you started
92,
when what?
93.
What age did you start?
Oh, I was building cars since I was 17?
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, sitting in my mom's backyard, wasting my life, she says.
We're going to take a quick break and we're going to bring Mr. Buchanan up here so he can join in the conversation.
Balance out this energy.
Yeah, we got all this female energy, so we got to bring our male energy here.
Come on, brother. We're waiting on you, man.
All right, we'll be right back. You are tuned into the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. And
Dawn.
All righty, we'll be right back.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal.
Gilbert and
Don.
our very special guest,
Yes,
Mr. TJ Lofton, right?
Thomas T.J. Lofton, who is celebrating his birthday today.
And he's got his very special book here.
Yeah, he is a published author. So when did you publish?
I believe September last year.
This is nice, man.
I
Tell them
didn't
how
even
much
know
it costs?
you had a book.
To publish that book?
No, to buy the book. And where can they buy
that
it?
book is only $25, $31 to your door. If you go on my website at thomastjlofton.com, that's Loftin, thomastjlofton.com, or you can go on We Buy Black and get it.
All right.
Okay.
And the book is called Monetizing Gentrification. Now, for those of you who are afraid of gentrification, this book is showing you how to embrace gentrification. So,
Well, he didn't created a whole patented process.
this
here.
is good, man.
Yeah.
This is good.
Thank you.
That
Appreciate y'all's support.
We Buy Black they doing some stuff back east, aren't
He
they?
ain't playing. Killer Mike had to reach out to We Buy Black and say, okay, they consulted with him and gave him the list of black products, the black boxers, the black toothpaste, everything they needed. Hey,
So-
get TJ's book too, you know.
Are we going to do workshops on this, like
Absolutely.
little role
He's doing
play and all of that stuff?
Let's do it.
Because I'm willing to do a sit-in with you, and we can do this. We can do role plays. You see what I'm saying? So the
do it.
kids, because we want the kids to start learning about
TJ's
gentrification.
toolbox.
Yeah, you see what I'm
TJ's
saying?
toolbox. That's what
So
we're
if we
talking
have
about for
those
the young people.
exercises and showing them how it works and how they
Absolutely.
can monetize this, then it's now it's in the DNA.
Absolutely.
Actually, TJ, since he was here the last time, he now has his online educational program called
wow.
Wealth Academy.
Yeah.
And he's teaching
Congratulations.
entrepreneurship and so are you going when you're doing all this wonderful traveling you're doing now, is it for the benefit of the book or you're just keynoting where?
No, it's just me knowing business in different aspects because we're at business warfare right now.
We are.
You know, so I do a lot of coaching and consulting. So like in the hair industry, they recently passed a law that said that you can't have a beauty salon anymore with a
Right.
bunch of people there.
You can't. They can't rent booths now. They actually
Booth
have to be
rentings out the door.
employees.
So when one door closes, we need a person like me to come in and create strategies on what are we going to do with all of these. You know, we cannot afford to lose that big power structure.
Right.
You know, the beauty salon industry and the barber industry. It was a
Right.
huge industry. We almost knew that the barbers owned the building as well, and the beauty salon people owned the building.
Right,
So
and
we had
now
to-
there is with the even with what you're doing, the push you're doing for the gentrification piece. Being able to buy the building, but the new avenue for them is really getting into the beauty supply industry
Manufacturing.
because the manufacturing and the industry
Right.
because a lot of the Korean business owners that have monopolized that business, they're now at retirement age,
Right.
and they sent their children to all these Pac-10 kid schools
Right.
and Ivy League schools, and their kids are
wanna
not
do it.
interested in doing. So now they're positioning themselves to sell. So what we need to do is, and I've been talking about this for a while, and in fact, there's a lady that is on Facebook. She told me to tell you to call her. Her name is Stella Spicer Davis, and she wants me to give you her number so you can call, because she actually has a cosmetology school, and I've spoken to her about that. She's going to be on the show in a couple of weeks, of how do we take those young people, just like what you're doing, and teach them how to be business owners. So there's a guy in Atlanta. His name is Dr. Robinson. He now owns 99 beauty supply stores, and he teaches them, and then he puts them in as managers. He finds investors to purchase the business, and then they work their way up to the point that they're owning it.
And he's doing funding as well?
He's doing funding. Right. I just read something recently that there's funding that just took place in Pasadena. The SBA, they're interested in this project, and as well as some other individuals that have investors that we can make happen, and just bringing. So,
see, when we get past this whole thing of, we have the people in place offering and want to help, but it's a mindset. We're programming our children. Hey, you got to go to university or you ain't going to be anybody. So I've traveled the country. I've met Mr. Roberts. I go to North Carolina to Mr. Dudley Haircare Product, in 100-bedroom mansion, and he's in there teaching business classes every Tuesday, saying, look, y'all skip to college and go straight to manufacturing parts. There's millions of black businesses around the country that want to buy it from you.
And when you
stop, I'm going to make you a millionaire, straight up.
And when you think about it, what is the industry that we monopolize? It's the hair and barber industry,
and auto,
right? If you don't go to college, and they happen to not be TJ, where did they go? They went to do hair,
right? Well, let's look at it. We got to look at the numbers. Only 20% of high school graduates go to college,
right?
So what happened to the other 80? We throw them under the bus,
right?
And say, hey, sorry, you didn't go off to college, so I say let's go after the 80% and create entrepreneurs out of them and let them hire the other 20.
I think so.
And we'll be okay.
I love it.
I think so.
Now tell me, go ahead, Chris.
No, go ahead.
Tell me this. In your book here on page 63, it talks about distraction. What is a distraction?
Education is a distraction. People coming in our community. We're in the highest real estate peak in U.S. history, and they're showering our communities with, what is it called? We should buy into the stock market.
That's true.
We should buy into Bitcoin.
Yep.
And I'm like, we're making historical amounts of money.
Right.
I got foreigners calling me from overseas saying, TJ, I want to buy real estate in Compton. Can you take me to watch when I come out there? And I'm like, my people are like, oh, I'm buying Bitcoin. And I just look at them like, this is a distraction.
Yeah,
every time the housing market gets to a certain point and we got money now that we can listen to Crystal and Gilbert or BusinessZone, and like, well, maybe I'm going to sell my house and go do what they're talking about.
Yeah.
That we're being showered with this thing, everything outside of real estate. It's distractions. Join the MLM. Give me your $200,000 equity and invest it in this MLM. We're selling pens.
Right.
and bring me all your friends.
Right. And that's the thing about the MLM. We talk about coaching or training or whatever to invest in. They're like, oh no, that's too expensive or something of that nature. But let somebody come up with the next whatever MLM that's popular right now, and everybody is running to get to it.
I've sat in on those MLM classes and I be mad.
Oh yeah,
they be like, entrepreneurship, we did it. It's already taken care of. All you got, we're giving you a free website. We're giving you free this. We've already done everything. All you got to do is show up, and we got you because it's too difficult. And I'm just sitting there mad at 99% of business owners fail in the first. And I'm like looking at them like, give me something so I can just throw at this guy.
Right, exactly.
You got 500 people in this room, and they all got this $300 sign-up fee ready to join in.
Right. They're trying to create foot soldiers. That's
distractions.
And there's nothing that they're going to get out of it, because unless they started it. I counseled or coached a counsel, because I did it for the Urban League. This couple, they were like on their last little leg. And so somebody had told them about alkaline water or whatever. I mean, how many alkaline waters are there? And this is the machine. So they all piled up to go do it. And so when they were doing it, when they sat down, I was like, okay, did they provide you with a website? Well, yeah, but it's not okay. Well, I'd like to see it. Well, we can't afford the hosting. you can't afford the hosting. But you gave them the $300 or the $250 to start the MLM, but you can't sell the product because you don't have a website,
Right.
Yeah, that's
which is
crazy.
like $80 for a hosting. So they were waiting to collect the money in order to get their $80 so that they could actually get their product. And I was like, well, I can't take you any further. There's nothing we can do because everything I'm telling you is just words. Because until you can start selling, which is that's the way in this particular case, they didn't have a product that they took anywhere. They would just refer them over to the active website. But theirs wasn't active; it was inactive because they couldn't find them.
That's just the wrong
So
company.
if we see a townhome being built in our neighborhood, what does that mean?
See, they've gotten smarter over the years. They know that, for example, all the homes in Compton, Los Angeles, Watts, Gardena, Inglewood, they're most 90% one-stories.
Yeah.
So when people get older, they be 80, 90 years old, they're not trying to sell because they're comfortable.
Right.
But these new townhomes, the people who got to live their bedrooms on the third floor or the fourth floor, they're trying to sell because they can no longer climb these stairs. You know, in their 45s, 50s.
Right.
So that's going to make sure they sell their houses. So all over the nation, we're talking about going green and having gardens in the backyard. Can't do that with a townhome because the association going to get you out of there.
Right.
You know, and we're talking about, staying in generational wealth. Well, you can't keep the house because mom and dad's too old to climb the stairs.
Right.
You know, so townhomes is not a great thing.
Right.
And then if you miss them, you may pay cash and pay the townhome home off at $700,000, and then all of a sudden something goes wrong and you can't pay that $150 a month. They will take that townhome.
Because it's not really your
because
That's
it's
not
not
like a
yours. You
standard.
still got to pay that association fee.
It's
Yes,
ridiculous.
absolutely. And that's why now I see whole communities going on all around the nation. I've been to 15 states in 2018, and I'm seeing 70 to 80% of association neighborhoods being built. And I'm telling people, that's dangerous. You don't want to go there. They're like, oh, but they cut my grass. Oh, they do everything. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
See, we're being pushed to get, it's easy. It's easy. And everybody wants to do it. And I'm like, life ain't about being so easy.
Right.
Yeah, see,
guys are
I've
losing.
been locked into that for over 14 years now, so I know that firsthand.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything with your place. You can't change your window without permission.
Yeah.
You can't, the doors that we have.
You own it.
Yeah.
Right.
The-
You gotta ask
but you gotta
permission.
ask
yeah,
permission to do
exactly.
anything.
The doors that we have right now, we can't touch them. And those doors have been there since 1979.
Well, see, here's
So
the,
it's not weatherized.
absolutely. And here's the thing about that.
Wow.
Now that we're locked into associations, they're writing new guidelines in there. TJ's out here on the road saying, hey, you could be a celebrity door maker. You could be a celebrity cabinet maker. But guess what? Your association says you can't.
That's right.
You got to be a certified through us.
Yeah.
You have to work for us
Yeah.
to come in there and put that new door in.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
it's like we're going to get it from there. And that door is $8,000
Yeah.
where you think you're going to get it from Little Johnny,
Yeah.
the gang to
Yeah.
doors,
Oh, yeah.
from gangs to doors. You can't get it from them.
Right.
I think that should be our next book.
I
Talk
think,
about the
and here's the
associations.
thing, and so I'm going to ask this question to all of us because I was listening to Dr. Boyce Watkins. He was interviewing Claude Anderson, Dr. Claude Anderson, the other day, and so of course, Dr. Anderson, was a creator of the 14th Amendment and making sure that there was places for us. But when they were talking, and you look at what's happening in politics right now, how they're marginalizing us and really trying to push us out.
Right.
He says every time, they talk about immigration, they're not talking immigration for us. Talking about other immigrating, any other ethnicities, and they're just pushing us out. So, and the way they both were talking, like, why are we even still here? Why don't we just pack up and go to another country that we can create and not have everybody tear it down? Because really, when you think about it, let's talk about what all we're talking about: entrepreneurship, building a new Wall Street. Well, what happened to the word Wall Street? Especially when we think about the atmosphere right now. The Anglo is very concerned by 2040 they will truly be the minority.
Well, there will be.
They will be.
Yeah, they are the minority. So they're concerned right now. And the reason they're fighting like they are is they want abortion gone because they need babies. They need to grow their population. It's not going to happen by 2040. And so they're like, okay, well, let's just get rid of the other people and then we'll go back. Because we can't multiply that fast. We're not rabbits. So we got to get rid of these other immigrants.
Right. Yep.
We'll take the white immigrants because that will give us more population.
Right.
And I even heard on the census, because they're gonna do the census next year, right?
Yes.
They're even saying if a child is biracial and that mother is white, then they're going to say the child is now white. Now, aren't they the one drop?
Yeah.
Made you
Yeah,
black.
yeah, they
Now, if
changed
the
it now.
mother is
Yep.
white, then the child, like the Jewish family, now the child takes on the ethnicity of the mother, so they can take the population and add that to their numbers so that they won't be reduced in numbers.
This is
Crazy.
the Willie Lynch
Crazy.
doctrine all over again.
And
That's
see,
what this is.
And that's what I'm trying to say as an entrepreneur, I'm traveling the country and you got so many people talking about we need more money for colleges. We need more money for this and that and student loans. I'm like, I need y'all over here in this entrepreneurship fight because they're passing laws saying that
Right.
we're going to wipe out all the singles these buildings here. We're going to get rid of these,
Right.
and where you can't have Morris Industries owning this one little building.
Right, you gotta own up.
We're going to bulldoze this whole area and make it look like New York, where you have to have $28 million to have a building, and you have to pay $6,000 a month to have a little 1,000 square foot space.
Yeah.
So this would probably cost you about $4,500 if they put us in a big building.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
So
exactly.
we need to make sure they don't pass those kind of laws.
Right.
But 90% of us want a job.
Right.
Yeah.
So we don't see that fight. That's
Right.
not. They don't even think
We're not
about
even aware.
the
No.
commercial building at the corner.
Oh no, they're
You know,
only thinking
they're
about
not thinking
the
about
right now.
them passing laws saying like I used to be able to build as many houses as I wanted to back in the days. Then all of a sudden they start pass some laws say, oh well, you only can build 4 houses a year.
Well, 90% of us don't even know that those discussions are having right.
Yeah,
We're
that's
having
what
that
I
right
just
now.
said.
That's
You see
why
what I'm saying?
That's why we have to start communicating.
We got to
And
start educating.
yes,
Yeah.
And everyone I'm sitting down. That's why it was so important for me to go out and start traveling the country speaking because I know all of it pretty much. That whole 80% part, the entrepreneurship, the development, the patents, the trademarks, the laws. Like everybody's like, China's buying up Africa, and wow, that's bad. And I'm like, now they're buying up. They're saying they loaned them some money and they couldn't pay it back, so they just took over the major port. And people don't understand what that really means.
Well, actually, everything that's happening right now with Russia is all about ports,
Right.
Right.
entryways. So water, any city, state, country that's on a water, that's a trap. That's
Prime real estate.
That's prime real estate for them because that's how they get their product
Yes.
in and out, import,
Yeah.
export, right?
So-
and we're not thinking.
Right.
We're thinking it's really about the Trump thing, and it really isn't about the
about
Trump
shots.
thing.
And,
It's
and that's why I keep saying this over and over, and I'm hoping that my audience is listening. This is a cyclical thing. This happened before in the 13th century, and it's happening again. This is not new, what's going on
No.
right now. In the 13th and 14th century, that's what the world was ruled by 4 nations. England, France, Spain, and Holland. Those 4 countries.
Right, and they went out and
they
conquered.
divide the world, okay, among themselves.
Right.
And all of them were trying to gain countries with ports.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what were they doing during that time? They were transporting and shipping. They're doing the mercantile system, right? So they were shipping their products from port to port to make it easier, so they wouldn't have to deal with tariff or deal with.
Let's dumb it down a little bit
Yeah.
for us. If I control the port,
Yeah.
I can say everything coming from Africa is going to be triple.
That's what I'm
Right.
talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That's
like
what I'm
people
talking
are
about.
wondering why is the flight to Africa the most expensive flight in the world?
Yeah.
Right.
Coming from California to Africa, hands down, there is no more flights that no
Right.
other country that's more expensive to
Yeah.
get to. In Africa, it could be twice as far, and it's still expensive. So when you own that port, you can do stuff like
That's
that.
what
Yeah.
I'm
They could be
talking
like, we
about.
don't want anything coming from Compton, California.
Yeah.
We don't want anything coming from the business
Right.
zone coming through this shipping.
And the
So-
reason why is because we have this internet.
Yes.
So now we don't have to worry about doing business right here.
Right.
We can actually do business in
Yeah.
Africa.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, well, wait a
Right.
minute. We're going to shut this down.
So-
Let's start bringing people in to control the port so that can't happen.
So
Right.
let's keep going in a little deeper. We're looking at, we have never before in U.S. history, as a people, have the money that we have now.
Right.
You got Will Smith worth hundreds of millions, almost
Yeah.
$1 billion. You got Oprah, a billionaire.
Right.
You got all of these people. You got billion-dollar business owners. And now we're all thinking, it would make more sense for me to go start making this stuff in Africa. Because now we're on that manufacturing tip. And
Right.
me and my team, we've been pushing that manufacturing hard. So I've been trying to get to Africa and make more car parts
Yeah.
Right.
to tap into this $10+ million lowrider industry, but this $10+ billion lowrider industry, but multi-trillion-dollar auto industry.
Right.
You know, so I'm knowing that I need to get into Africa, and I can turn around and run all my competitors out of business that don't look like us.
Right.
But guess what? If I do it and I become successful, now I got to get past that port.
Right. Exactly.
I can't ship my stuff out of there because the guy who currently has money called ahead
Right,
and said, "I'm going to help you
so
lock
you need
those
the
doors
entry
down."
into
Yes.
that port
That-
with the connection. So you need to actually speak to Al Washington at the Pacific.
I'm with Al. I speak at his
Right, because
his
you know
event.
that the Cal State Dominguez Hills, they
Yep.
actually put a
Yep.
program in place, and I know Gilbert and I have talked about it. They need us to develop the entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
which is what we're doing,
Yeah.
you're doing, and
Right.
we're doing,
Right.
and then filter them through to the
Yeah.
school. But we
Yeah.
need to do the groundwork for them,
Right.
and so that can then happen. And I think I read something just yesterday or this morning, actually. Ghana has the visas. Anybody that want to come into Ghana that's here,
right.
they have opened up the sanctions. You can go
Right.
there,
Right.
and they're waiting for you with open arms
Oh, yeah.
Right.
so that you can do business.
And America's really scared right now.
Yeah.
Because they know just one of us. Like, for example, Nash just made $340 million off of selling one of his businesses, right? Mm-hmm. That's one. He sold his doorbell earlier that year. So now the rappers, they're looking at Jay-Z, did his thing with Rocketware, $700 million. Dr. Dre, Beats, by, you know what I'm saying, billions of dollars. They're looking like, uh-oh. They're getting it now, and they're scared. They're like, they don't need us anymore. They're,
Yeah, 'cause
they're
we got the
finding
internet.
out.
We don't
right,
have to- you
right.
don't have to-
We don't need them, so they're like locking the door on us. So, but what's the problem is all the smart people, the people like me, we know how to do. We work with our hands, and we're like, we know how to manufacture stuff, but I don't know the law side.
Right.
You guys went to school, so I need you to come in and represent me and come in there with these fancy words and break down what does a tariff mean, what is an opportunity
That's
zone, and tell me how
exactly
this
what
affects
Marcus
my
Garvey
money.
was doing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
which is why they-
exactly
yeah,
what
that-
Marcus Garvey.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, how the rappers and others are they're taking advantage of these opportunities. That's what Marcus Garvey started back in the day.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then the man tried to shut him down. They make what he did illegal. They arrested him,
Right.
put him in prison so he couldn't influence anyone else.
Right.
So right now it's like things were a little slow for them to influence us. So you got Jay-Z, Nas, and others who got through the door, and now they're educating more and more of us. And that's what we got to do. That's
You know-
what we got to do.
You know what I looked up? We just put to rest Marcus Garvey School. You know, Dr. Onion Palmer. So when I went back and looked at his bio, you know what he did?
Right.
He reached out to those guys. Ice-T came in and helped him put that building together where he paid cash to build that building.
Yeah.
That's why they weren't able to bother him or start anything because his stuff was paid for,
Yeah.
but he reached out to the community.
Yeah, and I
And
think
this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Right. should be
Get a
doing.
plan and let's reach out to the community. We
Right.
just got Dr. Dre to give $10 million to the Compton School
Yeah,
District.
yeah.
And then I look back and I'm like, wait a minute, there's no black people in this school. It's like 6% or less.
Yeah.
I got a mechanic. I'm taking the mechanic class. They like, TJ, come in, and I'm like the advisor. I can tell you we're going to the Pomona Museum. I mean, to the Pomona race car place. We're going to
Auto
the
show.
Peterson Museum, and I'm looking at one African American kid in the class.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, what's up with the parents? Oh, nobody wants their children to be mechanics.
Yeah.
And you actually have to do like we're doing with the Biz Camp. We go out and get our own. We ain't forgetting. We go to the schools and then we start calling. So we actually have an overabundance of kids actually that
me
look
on.
like us.
Put
In
me
fact,
on.
when we did the class this last summer, one of the guys came in and I hadn't even noticed it. He goes, "Is this just for African Americans?" And I'm like, "No, we recruited everybody. In fact, the school where we had the class was predominantly Hispanic." And he goes, "Well, how'd y'all manage to get all these people in?" Because we went and got
They
them.
make it difficult.
We
They
went
make it
and
difficult.
got them. We didn't
Right.
leave it up to the school to recruit for us. And so we've always had predominantly African Americans in the class.
need that.
And we're doing it again.
need that.
And if you talk to the parent from an entrepreneurial standpoint, they get it, especially here. But the area I think that is open for all of us is the Middle Belt, the Midwest. Because when I went to Kansas for that speaker conference, you talk to them about certification. You talk to them about what you're talking about. You think that we think that is a desert here, and we're not really when you compare it to the rest of the country, with the exception of Atlanta.
Yeah.
They don't have a clue.
Yeah.
Unless you're in the metropolitan, you're in New York, you're in Chicago, and then of course the West Coast, and there's a few of us in Arizona and that kind of stuff. But if you talk to them going through the Bible Belt, and Oklahoma and with the Omaha, they have a better concept. Oklahoma, you would think, wow, that's where Black Wall Street was, right?
Exactly.
So they should have been some descendants of. Of course, they killed a lot of people, but you're on the land.
Yeah.
But they squished them down so far that they're afraid to get up.
Plus, there's a lot of Native Americans over there.
Right,
too.
exactly. And a lot of them have, there was a lot of intermingling with that. And that's one of the reasons, if you notice, remember that couple years ago, there was about 4 or 5 years ago, real push with the Ancestry.com and all that sort of stuff, and they were really pushing that. Now, if you listen to it, they're speaking against it because they don't want you to know who you are, right? Because once you know who you are,
I think it was when that African American guy went and found out who was his slave master's, his grandparents' slave master, and he went to the family and he said, "Wait a minute,
right?
Hey, this is our house,
right? That's my house. I'm a heir.
all that land that granddad left, So okay, thanks, sis." So he sued him and won,
right?
So now they're like, "No, don't do this."
Right.
No
So
more.
now,
Take that
because
away.
in fact, I was laughing last night. I came in and it was on the news. This lady, they were just like they've set up a private group on Facebook because they found out some stuff about their DNA that they're pissed off at 123 or whatever 23andMe, right? That ain't the fault. Your DNA is your DNA.
And also, what many of them are finding out is they think they were white all along. Now they're finding out that they've got traces of black in them. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why they're not too happy
They're
with
like,
that.
"Oh no, we need to shut this down. Shut this down."
No, but don't get it twisted though, because we're in a position to where they're going to start giving that 40 acres and a mule out,
right?
And then you're going to have a lot of white people saying, "Oh, I'm black."
I'm black.
Just
Well,
like they
actually,
did back
that
in the
is
day.
happening. There's a guy that is suing. Remember the guy with the certification? He found out he had a few drops of black. And so now he sued for the federal government so he could get certification. He could be certified.
We need to pass laws right now and put them in place that if you have always been white, if your driver's license say white, you can't get none of this. Plain and simple. We want to pull up all of these different applications over the last 30 years that you filled out, and if you check white on all of them, you're not black at 2019.
But
so you can
remember,
get some of that money. No,
that's why the census. That's why we want to make the mother, if the child is, because we got a lot of biracial children, and they're adapting to their blackness. Because what else? Everybody sees them that way, right? So now they're going, okay, wait a minute, we're gonna have to divide that up. We're gonna have to, the ones that look Anglo, we're gonna have to accept them. And they also want you to put your country, like we know. What country you came from on the census now. So they're including that. And what is the percentage of your blackness?
But you know what? The reason why I wrote that book is, I started traveling the country. I was supposed to be out there telling us about, hey, we got to put cars in all the schools, and we need the trades, the mechanic shops, and the sewing classes. We need this stuff back. But when I got it out there and I started traveling the country, I started realizing, I said, whoa, this ain't like L.A. I say, we losing on the massive level of everybody's waiting on the next job. And I'm like, I can project and look at it. I get to Georgia, they're going from $25,000 homes to $400,000 townhomes. Yeah. I'm like, we're losing massive amounts of homelessness. So I'm looking at, we got to learn how to look at what's on the wall.
Right.
And I said, I better write this book and start talking about real estate and entrepreneurship and get the conversation going and not just talk about it, but I'll sit down and coach and tell them how to put it in the schools, how we got like mechanics back into Centennial High School. Yes. I got resources. I got connections. I know people that we can get these guys to come out and support the things that look right. Mm-hmm. But when I realized on the national level, we better start talking about real estate right now because we're being priced out of real estate on a national level.
That's one of the questions I wanted to ask you because since you travel so much, I wanted to ask you, what is your experience traveling out there, interfacing with folks in all those different states as opposed to here in LA? Because like the Midwest, for example, you mentioned auto mechanics and all of that. A lot more of those folks are more geared towards auto mechanics.
Right.
And then real estate, a lot of those guys, they own acres and acres of real estate. So I'm just trying to see the dichotomy there.
When I left here, the goal was, we got to buy land, y'all.
Right.
I leave here, I get on the East Coast, I'm like, we got to buy land. They're like, I got 120 acres.
That's what I'm saying.
My granddad left me, and I didn't want that.
Yeah.
It's out there in the swampland. Yeah. So that's why I wrote in my book, and I talk about that and show that Mercedes-Benz just moved to a middle of nowhere and bought grandma and grandpa some land, and they got 900 acres. So now we're in a situation where these corporations have realized, they said, they need us in these cities. We built the cities.
Well, that's why they're coming back and buying up blocks. Look what they did to Baltimore. Mm-hmm. I have never seen the devastation when I was in Baltimore a couple years ago, and we actually took a bus. It looked like it was a war zone. It looked like you were in Beirut somewhere, where the buildings were hanging and the roofs are caved in. Then you got some of us still living in them and I thought, this is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. And I don't know if any of you have ever seen The Wire, but Baltimore looks just like The Wire.
It does.
And when I was driving, I'm going, what the heck? What has happened here? But then you got satellite TV. Yeah. They got satellite TV hanging off a wall, and the damn roof is caved in.
Right. But it's that programming. But what I'm looking at is, since I get to the East Coast, I'm finding all of these people whose grandparents have left them land. Mm-hmm. And then they're turning around. The children who went to the universities, they living in L.A. and New York, they don't want nothing to do with the house that grandma left on 500 acres in Alabama. So here's the thing. They're buying this stuff up from them cheap, and they think they're intelligent by negotiating a good deal. But I'm like, why don't you license the land out to them?
They don't
that
know
was the oil company that wanted to buy your 500 acres. Did you know you sat on a bed of oil? Did you know you sat on the main way and they're building like crazy, selling $1 million homes, and your house, your land, your 200 acres is in the way of progress, and you got $1 million and you think you done well?
See, that's book number 2.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna come back because this is true. So, and I think we all should. So it's one of you.
Yeah.
But what if it took 4 people to go on a tour?
Yeah.
We need Dawn because Dawn can help them. She's run a fitness business, but in addition to that, our health. We got other aspects of us that are not working. Yeah. So we need a team of people to go out to back you up.
Yeah.
Right.
So, because if it's just one person, once you leave, wow, that guy was really cool. But what if we brought in a whole mass of people that is doing that and encouraging, and especially if you can motivate people and light a fire on them, then they'll make stuff happen.
Yeah.
And bring the legal aspect, the knowledge aspect, the motivational aspect. You need all of that.
Yes.
So we'll take a quick break and we'll come back and talk about that.
The Business Zone.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Changing size, deep lunge, down, up with your quads. Your shoulders and rib joints. Great compounding exercise. Push it. Then you have it now for the full video. Go to GetAmerica.com and my Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm Dr. Shirley. See you on Monday.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal.
Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic,
And Dawn.
and our very, very special guest, and how should I say, entrepreneur, author,
Extraordinary.
extraordinaire,
Trailblazer.
Mr. TJ Lofton. And he's written this book, and it's called Monetizing Gentrification. That's what we're talking about today.
And we are having a lively conversation because when we talk about our problems and just getting a person, because it sounds so bleak when there's just the problems that are everybody. We all know the problems,
Right.
but we must become solution oriented.
That's the book.
Right, and we have to become solution in all our industries. And then I do know with our people, it requires motivation, right? So we just don't operate like that. We have to. We're doing these digital marketing classes, which you've come to and you've heard about and you came to, right? Amazing stuff, right? So what we've had to do, we've been doing this since October 18th, and getting the people just to even buy their domain to get started. So literally the entry is less than it would cost you to get into an MLM. And when you do buy your domain and your site, it's all for you. It had nothing to do with us. We ain't right now, right at this present moment, we're not getting a dime. We just want them to start writing, right? So they were some would, couple of them, it was like start. So finally, Armin and I was like, he said, Crystal, this is what we're going to do. We're going to divide the room up. You're going to take the ones that seem to be hesitant. You're going to find out why. I'm going to take the ones that are already moving. So when I took them into the back room, I said, okay, now what the hell is the problem? Okay. Tell me what the problem is, because I don't get it. It's going to cost you less than $200 to get started. Mm-hmm. Is it money? Armin's not even charging you for the website right now. Yeah. So the only thing you're paying for is the domain, $95. You cannot skip a couple of McDonald's to make that happen. Okay. I'm not understanding. Right. And then they're like, well, I don't know what to write about. Okay, what's your hobby? Well, I'm into travel and dance. Okay, that's what you're going to write about. What's your hobby? Mm-hmm. And, well, I like food. Okay, then you're going to write about food. Those are the best blogs to write, is because this is something that you have an interest in, and just like business. About, if you have a hobby or a passion, get in, do that. You had a passion and a hobby and a knack for building cars. So you put your heart and soul in that. You have a knack and for everything. For everything, you put your heart and soul. Yeah. You are like with certification. You are just like you dream it, sleep it. You don't even sleep.
That's right.
But that is your passion.
That's my passion.
Do your passion. So when I came out of there, when I got done, so the next week they came in there like, do we got to go back? No, you don't have to go back in there because you didn't bought your domain, right? Yeah, you got a concept and idea. Yeah, well, now you can stay here. Yeah. We're not being exiled. No, you're not being exiled. You have been elevated to the group. Right. And so then we did it again this week. We had new people come in. We have people that have been writing blogs, which is not uncommon. We didn't know you could make that kind of money. Right. One girl has been doing it for years. She got a huge following. She brought her domain that night. She called me at that night and she goes, how do I get my domain? So we're forcing them, but when they're hesitant, no hesitation. Yeah. If you didn't walk through that door, I am not letting you hesitate. Yeah. If you can't write it, speak it into a microphone, to your phone and transcribe it. Right. There is no reason that you can't get it on paper.
Right. But you know what? I'm seeing a lot of people who overstand that Donald Trump don't like us. They're like, TJ, do you think they'll be giving us jobs too much longer? And I'm like, no, they won't be. So, okay, well, where are we now? So now it's like I'm dealing with the obstacles in place where, okay, well, my mom's not going to help me. She's not going to support anything outside of going to the same university she went to. So these are the obstacles that we're dealing with. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, okay, well, how do we get more entrepreneurship funding? Okay, well, I need you to you say you're related. You know what I realized? The people who got the most money look like us. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All these celebrities, these rappers, these actors, these tennis players, basketball players, golf, all of them got money. But every time we see them, we're like, can we do a selfie? You know what I'm saying? I want to put you on my page. You know what I'm saying? But I want to be able to look. I got this blueprint, this design for this brand new phone holder. All I need is $20,000. Yeah. Okay, I got this idea about a studio. I got this idea about manufacturing cars. The rappers have let you know we want in now. Come at us with these ideas. So now you got white people all over the world saying, get at the rappers. They want to invest
now. Now, let me ask this question. So, since that's the case, and I can understand a whole slew of people coming after you for what you have, but what about them putting, like the Jewish Federation and the Asian Federation, putting their money in a pot of fund, and pledging so much money to developing entrepreneurs, and then they come in. You go, all of us that are doing training, you provide a application process. You take in the serious ones, and you help them develop, and the money is there.
Well, that's up to us to set it up right now. We know we need it. It's time to do it.
Let's do it.
Just like back in the days, I needed to organize lowriding. I'm like, we got different car clubs, right? Mm-hmm. Each car club has a different rapper who gave over the phone number to the name of the car club, so they get phone calls to say, okay, we're doing the movie, we're doing the video, we're doing the commercial, we need 2 convertibles. So I had to say, we need to organize that because they're getting $500. Yeah. They're doing them for free, and I'm over here getting 15.
Yeah. Right.
Everybody need to get 15.
Yeah. Right.
So I said, okay, we're going to have to start this thing called a Lowriders Association or something like that.
Wow.
I said, I saw this NASCAR got a NASCAR association. So everything they doing, we need to be doing too. Yeah. So I told my buddy, go figure that out. Yeah. Let me know. Yeah. So we can't talk about it. We got to do it.
You're right. So if we can make that happen, because that is the path, right? But usually it's money. And then you need the motivators and all that sort of stuff to get them there. But that's what needs to happen. If they have that money, and I can get it. So if I had that kind of money and people were always coming to me with ideas, I need you to go to a place that verifies and certifies the fact that this idea, we can take this feasibility study, and we know that it's a tangible product or service, right. And we can execute that going through a training program, and then just like we do the Biz Kids.
One thing I realize is the educated people think too big. Mm-hmm. I can look at something and say, yeah, that'll work. You come to me and say, TJ, I got this new Dayton hammer for fixing wire wheels. In my mind, I know there's over 10 million people that got these cars, and this product does not exist.
Right.
Let's go for it. How much you need?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't need to see a feasibility study. I don't need the data. I don't need nothing like that.
But look at the number. But to a certain extent you do, because look at the ball players that people come to and they lose tons and thousands of dollars.
That's because they're being set up for failure.
Right, they're being set up.
That's on purpose.
So that's why you need to come to a place where people look like you and have your best interest, not your manager who don't look like you, who's getting his take for just bringing you as a referral to his person. And you turn around and lose your money.
But as an entrepreneur, we got to think about that. We got to really talk about that. When I came in, I had this thing called an emerging industry. Mm-hmm. It was on the fire, and it's like, we got to put this fire out before someone else does.
Right.
So we didn't have time for me to go out and figure out, okay, what's the feasibility study, and how do I get a business plan? I'm talking about people jumped on it real fast.
Right.
So I was able to just say, forget it. I jumped on it, and I lost a bunch of money, but I made a whole lot of money. Mm-hmm. So I can't sit back thinking about I lost $100 million, knowing I made 4 or 5. Right. But I was thinking, if they would have just believed in me,
right?
Because you come in with this big old box. No offense, I appreciate what you're doing, and we need these things. But when we get emerging industries,
but you did have that. You did have that. Remember, you were at 9 years old. You had people infusing information into you to tell you, when you asked them what was the land use, what was this. So they were giving you the knowledge.
But it doesn't always look like that. Mm-hmm. So they had this valve stems on wheels back in the days. Oh, they still do to this day. And they just came out with this new thing called gold plating. Now, again, I'm thinking there's millions of guys around the world that got chrome ones. Maybe someone would like gold ones.
Right.
So I made the investment, but I asked people first, Crystal, I got these, for those gangster wheels that you see. Yeah, I want to put some gold ones in. What's your numbers, TJ? Well, I don't know that yet. Well, how many lowriders would need that? How many have you did a filler out there?
See,
no.
That's the part that she's talking about. That the number that I asked you about, which she didn't know. The feasibility study will help out with that.
But I didn't know that.
It would also help them in learning a little bit more about the industry, who the players are,
But we have to identify who's talking.
Yeah.
It's like Steve Jobs comes in and says, hey, I got this idea about these personal computers.
Yeah.
And it didn't exist. There was no feasibility study. Who's going to buy it?
Well, actually, feasibility study existed since the time of Naught, but it was called something else.
But we didn't know. We didn't know.
He didn't know it. Go ahead.
We didn't have any idea of who was going to buy these.
Right.
It's an emerging industry. Yeah. I just created this morning. We're going to go find people to buy these. Well, most people will not give you a loan off of that.
Right.
No,
you just have to know this guy's passionate with what he's doing. Mm-hmm. He's already in it. He's already got a product. So apparently he's doing something that I can't recognize.
Right.
So instead of me giving you $1 million, I'm willing to put up 100,000 and see what happens. And that's what I've always had. Guy came to me a long time ago. He said, TJ, this thing called the internet is coming out and you're going to need it. And I'm like, what do I need the internet for? You're going to need a computer. I need a computer too to make that work. And I didn't want nothing to do with it. But he sounded so smart when he was telling me about this thing called a website.
And you knew him,
I was
right?
like, Yes, I
There's
knew
your
him.
relationship,
He was
and
a
that's
smart
your-
guy, and I didn't know what the H he was talking about,
Yeah.
but I knew he was driven at this whole thing called
Right.
a website.
Right.
And I can tell you, I won't tell you what he was using his website for, but I can tell you it quadrupled my investment
Exactly. And that's
fast,
what I'm
but
saying.
he couldn't prove nothing to me.
So that's what I'm saying. You're coming to us. That's the exact thing that happens in with the Jewish Federation and with the Asian Federation. You come in, people come in from Korea, and it's like, well, we've done our research. There's some people there that we got access to hair, and if we go there, we can sell. They're like, okay, here, come into town. Here's your $25,000. Go make it happen. Yeah. The reason that the nail industry is dominated by the Vietnamese, because they came in. We have this great idea. Here's hair. Here's nails. The black people are all about cosmetics and hair and nails. They spend millions and billions of dollars. We're going to put our shop right there in the middle of their neighborhood, and we're going to entice them to come into our neighborhood because they're going to shop
Crystal,
there.
I think you and I should jump on this hair and beauty thing.
Yeah.
Because we've been talking about this for a while now. And there's a lot of people, nobody is doing anything.
Right.
So let's do it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about that too.
Yeah.
We can't assume people aren't doing anything.
Well, we're
or
not
no
seeing
one's doing
anything
it.
for our
We have
community.
to communicate.
Yeah.
we have
Because
to
I was in certain places. They said there is no black business owners. You know? I'm like, okay, wait a minute. There is no black manufacturer. I'm like, hold on, I'm a manufacturer.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And you're an exception.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No.
no, I'm just one. I come from the other side of the tracks of people you don't look at.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, what we're talking about
Communication.
what we're talking about is in the hair and beauty industry, there's a certain group that controls the market.
right?
And because of that, a lot of the people in our community are dependent upon that group.
I agree.
So what we're saying is we want to turn that upside down. We
Yeah,
want
give
to
them
turn
the
it
skills
around.
to run the business.
So
'cause-
that's what I'm saying, that
Yeah.
I'm willing to get involved in this with
Yeah.
you. I know nothing about hair and beauty, but I'm relying on your skill and
Yeah,
expertise
you know that
because
we
that's your
fit it.
space.
Right, right.
You see
But
what I'm
that's-
saying?
And that's the same thing what we're doing with
Right.
digital marketing. They don't know nothing about making money
Right.
on the internet.
Right.
But I tell you, when they come in that room and we get
You know
done
what?
talking,
But
Yeah.
you know what? Let's rewind back to the book.
Yeah,
We all talking about doing.
yeah.
We gonna do it.
Oh,
But
no,
we gotta
I'm all
make
about doing
We
it.
got to make sure there's real estate for us to buy.
Right.
Because they gonna jack the price. They've been jacking
Right.
the prices up of
Right.
commercial real estate
Oh, yeah.
nationwide
Right.
because they know that we're about to start businesses.
Mm-hmm.
More people since Obama came. Remember when Obama came into office, George Bush, we were losing 700,000 jobs a month. We never recovered those jobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So since Obama came in office and went out of office, we have started more black businesses than ever before in history because of necessity. So now the people see that. So I'm looking at commercial real estate being bulldozed all around America, saying, "Oh, we don't need these anymore." And these buildings are cheap. We can buy whole strip malls for $150,000. So before we really get into businesses, we got to really talk commercial real estate and start buying it. So you may have money. We got people who got money that ain't interested in being a business owner, but you may be interested in being a commercial, a real estate owner. So now they're changing these things. So we got to get onto these trends. They're changing, like they ran all the people out of the hair industry. They're getting rid of them. But now other people have gotten smart and said, "I'm going to go in that brand new building they're building. I'm going to buy out the whole first floor. I'm going to rent the whole first floor, and I'm going to go in there and have them put 500 10x10s in there."
Yeah.
And
With
that's
doors.
why we need to do this as a group. You see
yeah,
what I mean?
that's exactly what I
Because
said. You can't do
that's
one,
your
two.
strength over there. Your strength is in the
I'm
hair
with it. Let's do it.
industry.
Yeah.
My strength is infrastructure and building, and your strength is getting the mind right, getting the body right. You see what I'm saying? Plus, you've got some coaching talents as well. So we put this all together and approach those groups. We can start a revolution.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And this is like, I say we need to have smart people, because when I come in and tell you what's going on, like right now, they're after my industry.
Yeah.
They came in, passed the law, said, "Oh, we're not going to approve any more paint shops." Well, that's the roots of low riding. You can't have, you got to have a paint.
Yeah.
So if they're out and up, they're revoking paint laws and making it, you can't have a paint booth in these areas no more. You're undermining what I do.
Yeah.
They're trying to kill that industry off. So now we need the guys with the suits and ties in there to go. We need our politicians to go in there, which right now they're like, we don't care about paint shops. Who
Yeah.
cares about it? Our kids go to college. They got good jobs.
Yeah, but-
no, I need you to care.
Right.
We need to stop this because we can hire your college people.
But
And
now,
not only that, they can look at the tax benefit that if they're able to do those paint shops, now they can pay more taxes. They can
Yes.
hire people to pay taxes as well. So that's why those suits need to be interested in that.
But TJ, so even the colleges recognize. I went to a conference with at the Milken Institute about a month or so ago. So now the focus is not on a 4-year degree. Is on a nano or a
Right.
certificate
Right.
program.
Right. Yes.
And all of the junior colleges were there.
Right.
And that's all they talked about. That's why the Udemy's and all of those online platforms, and now you give a certificate on the end, you print out a certificate and send them off on the way. The exact same thing what I'm doing at Mount SAC is now we get them working like right away. So the mindset, if it's not from the parent, is the schools are saying, no, we don't, unless you're going into a professional to be a doctor or a lawyer, there is no need for you to spend $250,000
Absolutely.
in order to go to
Over
a
8
4-year
years.
college
Agreed.
and then come out here and you can't find a job.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So we need to now teach you, let's do a practical skill and we give you, it could be a 3-month course, a 6-month course, a 2-year course,
can
but
generate
that
you
is the
income
max
now.
that you
You know,
need to go to
yeah.
school
You
for.
know,
And if you got a talent and a skill, you don't even need to do that. Let's
Yeah.
just get you into a place
You know-
and put you in an apprentice program and teach you how to do this.
You know what's so funny is we got people in college that's coming out of college saying they can't find work or it's too competitive.
Right.
But yet we're in my industry saying we can't find painters.
Right.
We
Or
can't
you
find
can't find
auto
construction
mechanics.
people.
We can't find anybody to help us put these cars together. If you can find me one, I will gladly pay him, and I don't need him to have any type of degree or any type of history as long as he know how to do something better than nothing. And I'm like, we need to pay attention to what's working.
Right.
We are heavily in pursuit of things that no longer work.
Right. Exactly. So that's up to us.
Yeah.
Lively conversation.
Oh, yeah.
And we got about 9 minutes left. I do want to share this poem that in honor of Black History Month.
Are we
Before
going
you
to
got
sing?
here.
Are we going to sing TJ Happy Birthday?
We
too?
are going to send TJ. I'm going to read the real poem, and then we're going to let Don close us out with a happy birthday song. He's already requested the style that he wants.
All right.
I think you should replay what you did.
Oh, okay.
Sing along with that.
Okay, well,
Can you
we're
find that again?
Man,
So
I
we'll
was
do
looking
that.
forward to- See, you're supposed to look at me in my eyes and sing it to me, and I'll try to
I'm
fight
trying to
the
let you
tears
work on your
back.
business. We might be married in a month. I'm trying
Whoa.
to let you focus on business.
Magic
My
happening at the
sister ain't no telling what can
She'll
happen
be all
here.
mesmerized.
No, he will be, not me.
He'll be.
So in honor of Black History Month, I'm going to read you guys a poem that was written by Langston Hughes in 1902 to 1967 is when he was alive, and you'll see that times have come back to, they've gone cyclical, and this, at the same time of what he's written this poem, which I'm sure he was gone in 1967, so it wasn't like yesterday. So it says, let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer on the plain seeking a home where he himself is free. America was never America to me. Let America be the dream, the dreamer's dream. Let it be that great strong land of love where never kings contrive or tyrants scheme, that any man be crushed by one another. It was never America to me. Oh, let my land, a land where liberty is crowned, no false patriot wealth, wreath, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. There's never been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. So who are you that mumbles in the dark, and who are you that draws your veil across the stars? I am the poor white, the fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro bearing slavery scars. I am the red man driven from the land. I am the immigrant clutching the hope I seek and finding only the same old stupid plan. Of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. I am the young man full of strength and hope, tangled in that anxious, endless chain of profit, power, gain, of grab of land, of grab of gold, of grab the ways of satisfying needs, of work the man, of the pay, of owning everything for one's own greed. I am the farmer, the bondsman to the soul, soil. I am the worker sold to the machine. I am the Negro servant to all. I am the people, humble, hungry, mean, hungry yet yesterday despite the dream, beaten yet today, O pioneers. I am the man who never got ahead, the poorest farmer bartered through the years, yet I am the one who dreamt our basic dream in the old world while still a serf of kings, who dreamt a dream so strong, so brave, so true, that even yet it mighty daring sings. In every brick and stone, in every furrow turn, there's made America the land it has become. Oh, I am the man who sailed those early seas in search of what I meant to be my home. For I'm the one who left dark island shores and Poland's plain and England's glassy league, and torn from black America's strand, I came to build a home of the free. The free? Who said the free? Not me. Surely not me. Millions on relief today. The millions shot down when we strike. The millions who have nothing for our pay. For all the dreams we dreamt and all the songs we sung and all the hopes we held and all the flags we hung. The millions who have nothing for our pay except the dream that almost died today. Oh, let America be America again, the land that never has yet been and yet must be, the land where every man is free, the land that's mine, the poor man, the Indian, the Negro, me, who made America, whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hand at the forgery where the plow in the rain might bring back our mighty dream again. Sure, call my ugly name you choose. Call me any ugly name you choose. The still of freedom does not stain. But those who live like leeches on the people's lives, we must take back our land again, America. Oh, yes, I said it plain. America was never America to me. And yet I swear this oath, America will be. Out of the racks and ruin of our gangster death, the rape and rot of graft and stealth and lies, we the people must redeem the land, the mines, the plants, the rivers, the mountains of the endless pain. All of those stretch this great land.
Those are powerful words.
Huh?
I got an event coming up.
Okay.
Those are powerful words.
Yes, it was.
Super powerful words.
19, whenever he wrote it, I'll find out where he wrote it. But yeah, so your event?
I'll be in Gardena, California. You can go to my website under Thomas T.J. Lofton. I will be speaking my first presentation of the year, Monetizing Gentrification. I will be talking about what I found in the over 15 states I went to in 2018, how it affects us, how we can get into position and strategize and create wealth, how we can monetize this gentrification through starting businesses, through investing in real estate, and how it looks. So I'll be in Gardena, California on the 10th, February 10th. You can go to my event, go to Eventbrite under Monetizing Gentrification. It's only $25, or go to my Facebook page and find the event. And I also have a few book signings this month. I'll be at Simply Wholesome, Malik Books, and also tomorrow I'll be at the Black College Expo at the Los Angeles Convention Center having a book signing as well. But please register for that Eventbrite, that Monetizing Gentrification presentation. It's powerful, family. We got to know what's going on in the, like she said earlier, we got the solution, so just time for y'all to come and hear it.
All right.
All right.
Miss Dawn, what
Good
you got
stuff.
going on?
Oh, man. I'm going to be there.
But you got something happening next Friday.
What's
Sunday.
happening Friday?
Sunday.
Sunday. What's happening Sunday?
No, Saturday. Next Friday we have.
Next Thursday we're doing, you said Friday. Next Thursday we're doing Zumba.
Oh,
Zumba
okay.
every Thursday from now on right here at Yoga, Crenshaw, and Dance. We'll be doing that. I have a talk coming up on the 17th of February. I'll tell you all about it soon as I'm ready.
Okay.
And you can always reach me on all social media at Dawn, D-A-W-N Strozier, S-T-R-O-Z-I-E-R. Visit my website, ds-fitness.com.
Okay. I have I'm speaking on the 9th at the Women's Empowerment Tea in Torrance, and it is at 11 o'clock. I guess I need to find the flyer. And you actually, if you go to my Facebook page and any of my Facebook pages, you'll see the flyer there. Actually, let me see. I think I can find it over here. And I am speaking again on the 16th I am speaking to some young people about entrepreneurship and how to be an entrepreneur. And the one that I'm speaking at on the 9th for the Women's Empowerment Group, and this is for the Coalition of 100 Black Women. We're talking about the spirit of entrepreneurship and how to start your own business. And then and what else? That's it. That's all I got going on. And the digital marketing class, which we have a boot camp coming up on February 13th. It's a hands-on sit down, and let's beautify your blog, and let's start making some money.
What day is that on?
That's on February 13th, which
Saturday?
is a Wednesday.
Wednesday again.
And for me, every Tuesday night from 5:30 to 9, I'm at the Vermont Slauson Economic Development Center at 1130 West Slauson Avenue. We're teaching a six-class series, and this class on upcoming Tuesday, will be on certifications. So I'd love for all of you entrepreneurs to be there. If there's anything you need to know and learn about certification, you want to be there, because we're going to go over the gamut. The workshop is free. You don't have to worry about paying anything. At the end of this program, our goal is to get you at least one certification, get you a capability statement, and get you a completed business plan. So then you can go out and start working on becoming contract ready. And hopefully you'll be able to obtain a contract by the end of the year. That's the program.
So look at that, guys. If you can't make some stuff happen with all these 4 people at this table, it ain't meant for you to have nothing to happen.
And remember, I want to throw this out there to all of you entrepreneurs, because it seems as if we've traveled the whole nation and we found out some things. You guys seem to believe that the other person's ice is much colder than ours. No, it's the same temperature. It's cold just the same way. So you guys need to purchase our services, support our businesses, instead of supporting some other entity.
Ice.
Okay?
Ice.
And it's real ice. It's not GMO ice.
That's right. It's
Right,
real
exactly.
ice.
Real ice is not GMO
Okay.
ice.
Keep that in mind.
So
Because a lot of you think that the ice on the other side is colder. It's not.
It's not. So we're going to take it. We're going to sign off. But before we do, we're going to repeat the happy birthday song for our guests. And we want to thank you guys for tuning in today. And we will see you next Friday with another. We actually have the Urban League in the house next week. They're going to talk about civil rights and job training and all the things that is going on over there and the history of the Urban League.
So tune in next week to the Business Zone
with Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic.
And Don.
And our special guest,
TJ.
All
ThomasTJLofton.com.
All right. You want to go get TJ's book.
Got to get this book, Monetizing Gentrification.
All righty. So, LaRon, thank you for your help today. And let's
Take us out, baby.
Take us out with a happy birthday for Mr. TJ.
I want to see Dawn singing here.
It's your birthday, happy birthday, celebrate and have a good time. It's your birthday, happy birthday, another year's gone by. It's your birthday, happy birthday, celebrate.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.